Hey trainers! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down the top 7 most difficult Pokémon Leagues in the entire franchise. From nasty type matchups to champions with big brain strats, these leagues gave us a serious challenge. And maybe a few rage quits too. In this video, we'll be looking at all the teams of the Elite Four members and the champion, focusing especially on just how balanced, strategic, or downright brutal their Pokémon teams can get. But here are the rules for how this list works. We'll only be choosing one league per region game. So for example, if Generation 5 gave us both Pokémon White and Pokémon White 2, we're only going to count one of them. That way, we don't fill up the list with multiple versions of the same region. The same thing goes for remakes. Like Pokémon Ruby and Omega Ruby, just one league will be picked, the one I think is the most difficult of the two. And finally, no rematch teams allowed. We're only focusing on the main story league battles the first time you challenge the Pokémon League, when it really counts. So now that everything's clear, let's kick things off with a countdown and jump into the top 7 most difficult Pokémon Leagues. Welcome to the first ever Pokémon League in Alola. The view is beautiful, the vibes are chill, and the Elite Four is ready to ruin your island vacation. This league is unique. It's the first in the region's history, yet the trainers are no pushovers. Plus, there's a twist. No fixed champion until you beat it. You are literally battling to become the very first one. But don't get cocky. The final fight might feel more like betrayal than a victory lap. We'll start by talking about Kahili Flying-type Specialist. Kahili's team's difficulty is deceptively annoying. At first glance, Flying types sound easy, but she's packing bulky walls like Skarmory and Mandibuzz that can stall, set up spikes, and tank hits forever. Toucannon is sneaky strong too. Beak Blast punishes you if you physically attack it. Regarding others, Hala Fighting-type Specialist. Hala hits hard. Fighting types already punish squishy or steel-heavy teams. Beware has huge attack power and decent bulk thanks to Fluffy. Crabominable, his ace, is slow but deadly, especially with Ice Hammer, covering flying types you think are safe. Problem: if you don't have flying, psychic, or fairy coverage that's fast enough, his team steamrolls you in a few brutal turns. Olivia the Rock type has a Lycanroc with Rocksham Zeed and Stone Edge. Finally, Acerola Ghost-type Specialist is for me the most difficult Elite Four member in this region. Ghosts are tricky and sneaky. Drifblim might pop an explosion just to ruin your setup. Frostlass is fast, can freeze you, or spam annoying status effects like Confuse Ray. Palossand acts like a spooky sandcastle wall with stamina ability boosting its defense after every hit. If you're not ready to deal with tanky setups or random status effects, you can easily lose momentum here. Problem: ghost types often resist or are immune to normal and fighting moves, meaning your go-to hard hitters might just flail uselessly. Finally, we have Professor Kukui. He's not your typical academic. He shows up in a lab coat looking ready to write a thesis, but instead, he's ready to absolutely throw hands. His team is balanced, fast, and hits like a truck if you're not prepared. Highlighting his Lycanroc with Stealth Rock, Braviary with Brave Bird, Alolan Ninetales with Blizzard. Diverse typings make countering his team tricky. Good mix of speed, bulk, and priority moves. Unexpected coverage moves can ruin your carefully planned sweeps. Zeed move threats that can catch you off guard. Professor Kukui might be all smiles, but on the battlefield, he's basically the final exam you forgot to study for. Unlike other regions, Galar's Elite Four setup is actually the Champion Cup, a grand tournament. You face a whole lineup of gym leaders and rivals, and it's a grueling gauntlet before you finally reach the champion. First, before we can face the gym leaders, we'll face our 2 rivals in the semifinals. On one side we have Marnie, and on the other we have Hop. Marnie specializes in Dark-type Pokemon, and Hop is Balanced Team based on your starter choice. The next one is Nessa Water-type Gym Leader. Nessa abuses Rain teams like a pro. Pelipper sets up Rain with Drizzle. Barraskewda becomes a literal torpedo, and Dreadnaught's G-Max Stone Surge can wreck you if you don't have a plan. Fighting Nessa is like being thrown into a water park, but someone forgot to turn off the tsunami machine. The penultimate gym leaders are Bee and Alistair, depending on your version. Bee specializes in fighting-type Pokemon, and Alistair in Ghost-type Pokemon. The last gym leader is the strongest of all. Raihan, Dragon-type gym leader, final boss before champion. Raihan doesn't spam only dragons, he plays a weather manipulation strategy. Torkoal's Sun Boost fire moves, Gudra is super tanky, and Turtonator can set traps with Shell Trap. And Duraludon's G-Max depletion can drain your PP your move uses. Fighting Raihan is like battling a weather forecaster who controls the actual weather and really hates you. The champion for these games is Leon, who mainly has a balanced team. Leon is serious business. Highlighting Aegislash can wreck unprepared teams with its offense-defense stance gimmick. Dragapult is one of the fastest Pokemon in the game and deals insane damage. Haxorus can Dragon Dance and Sweep if you don't kill it immediately. Charizard, especially in Gigantamax form, is a walking apocalypse, raining G-Max wildfire and burning everything. Leon shows up smiling like he's your big brother, and then unleashes nuclear-level destruction with a dragon. The Hoenn League in Pokémon Emerald is where things start to get seriously intense. Not only do we face stronger and more diverse teams than in Ruby Sapphire, but the AI is noticeably smarter too. And the Pokémon levels are higher across the board. Time to grab some full restores and hang on tight! The first is Sydney, Dark-type Elite 4. Why he's tough. Sydney may seem like an easy opener, but his team is full of status effects, critical hit bait, and intimidate shenanigans. Absol's high crit ratio and Cacturn's sneaky spiky swagger can turn your first match into a confusing mess. Sydney's team is like a group of edgelords with a master's degree in annoying your starter. Next up is Phoebe, Ghost-type Elite 4, which doesn't play fair. Her two Dusclops are tanky, spam annoying moves like Curse and Confuse Ray, and one even sets up Protect stalling combos. And since Sableye has no weaknesses in Gen 3, thanks, no fairy type yet, you need to be creative. Fighting Phoebe feels like trying to land a punch on a spooky ninja with smoke bombs. And she brought twins. The penultimate is Glacia, Ice-type Elite 4 member. She's a freezing queen. Double Celio, double Glalie, and that chunky Walrein can tank most hits and slam back with Blizzard and Body Slam. Oh, and all of them can use Hail, making Blizzard 100% accurate. Glacia's team is like an icy blender. If you don't melt her fast, she turns you into a frozen smoothie. The last is the strongest of all Drake, Dragon-type Elite 4. Drake has a full dragon army with high speed, high attack, and plenty of coverage moves like Flamethrower, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. And then comes Salamence, the beast with Intimidate and aerial dominance. Drake is what happens when a Dragon Hoarder gets his hands on a Battle Tower budget. The champion for this game is Wallace Water-type Master. He is the wet nightmare of the league. His team has type coverage, electric counters like Whiscash and Ludicolo, tanking with Wailord and Tentacruel, annoyance level 9000, Ludicolo with Leech Seed, Rain Dish, and Status, and Melodic with Recover, Toxic, Surf, and Ice Beam. She is ridiculously tanky and loves stalling you out. Wallace doesn't just flood the battlefield, he floods your soul. If Melodic was a Final Fantasy boss, nobody would bat an eye. Kanto. The region where it all began, but don't let nostalgia fool you. This league can crush your hopes and dreams if you walk in unprepared. Between powerful type combos, tricky AI, and a certain smug rival, Kanto's league is no joke. We will start with the first, Lorelei. Ice-type Elite 4. Lorelei's team isn't just ice. It's bulky, status-heavy, and tricky. Dugong and Cloyster tank physical hits, Slowbro shrugs off special attacks, and Jinx and Lapras dish out big damage with Ice Beam. Oh, and Cloyster loves spamming Clamp for that obnoxious chip plus trapping. Just the next is Bruno. Fighting type Elite 4, Bruno's double Onyx are weirdly not the stars here. The real threat, his Hitmons and Machamp. They hit hard, have decent coverage, and Machamp packs Cross Chop, which can absolutely delete your team if you're not careful. His defense stacking can turn fights into a grind. Bruno skipped leg day, but he's a black belt in one-punch KO. The next one, Agatha. Ghost-type Elite 4. Agatha plays dirty. Double Gengar, Confuse Ray, Hypnosis, Toxic, Dream Eater. It's a nightmare. Plus, poison typing reduces Psychic's advantage, and Arbok loves to lower your stats with Intimidate and Screech. Agatha's not here to battle. She's here to ruin your day and laugh from the shadows. The last one is Lance. Dragon-type Elite Four. Lance's team is all about speed and power. Gyarados opens strong with Intimidate. The Dragonairs have Thunder Wave and annoying coverage. Aerodactyl is a speedy menace, and Dragonite is a pseudo-legendary wall of destruction. Watch out for Hyper Beam. Lance doesn't just fly high, he flies straight through your team at Mach 10. Finally, we have Blue, the champion in these games. Blue's team is the ultimate test of balance. Fast hitters, bulky tanks, and special attackers. His Pokémon depend on the starter we have chosen since he likes to have balanced Pokémon. The Pokémon that are usually in his teams are Pidgeot, Raiden, and Alakazam. Alakazam alone can sweep if you're careless, and his starter is a late-game powerhouse. He's also smart, switching when needed and punishing your mistakes. Blue's not just your rival, he's the brat who's been waiting all game to stomp on your dreams, and he does it with style. Alright trainers, we're down to the final 3. And sitting pretty at number 3 is none other than the classic Johto League from Pokémon Gold and Silver. Ah, the nostalgia. But don't let those Gen 2 sprites fool you. This league still packs a punch. The first Elite Four member of this league is Will, Psychic-type Specialist. We kick things off with Will, the dude in a mask who decided Psychic types were still cool even after Sabrina. Dual Xatu is a problem. One opens with Confuse Ray, the other sweeps with Psychic. Executor drops status bombs like Stun Spore and Sleep Powder. Slowbro is a literal wall with Curse plus Amnesia to boost while you try to break it down. Honestly, facing Will feels like walking into a hypnosis show. You're confused, paralyzed, and asleep all at once while Slowbro's vibing in the back. Next on the list is Koga, Poison-type Ninja Master, upgraded from Gym Leader to Elite Four status, and he's not here to mess around. Ariados and Venomoth set up status moves like Toxic and Double Team. Fortress will spam spikes for chip damage every switch. Crobat is fast with Double Team plus Toxic, super annoying if you lack a solid Rock Electric attacker. Muck is a tank with Minimize and Toxic to stall you to death. If you've ever wanted to fight a ninja who specializes in making you miss everything, congrats! Koga's your guy! With the third Elite Four member, we meet again Bruno. Fighting-type powerhouse, the ever-serious Bruno returns from Kanto, bringing his fists of fury. With Pokemon like Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Onix, and Machamp. Finally, we have Karen, Dark-type Queen of Sass, with her cool attitude and very edgy team. Umbreon is a tank with Confuse Ray plus Sand Attack to troll you. Gengar hits hard and packs Destiny Bond. Murkrow is sneakily strong with Confuse Ray plus Feint Attack. Houndoom is fast and deadly with Crunch plus Flamethrower. Karen's motto is about loving strong Pokemon, but her Umbreon just wants you to suffer for 10 turns of missed attacks. And finally, the champion of Johto, the cape-wearing, dragon-obsessed Lance the Dragon Master. Here, the Dragon-type Master has a very varied team than it seems at first glance. Gyarados opens with a Stab Hyper Beam that wipes weaker Pokémon. Triple Dragonite. Triple! Each carries different coverage. Thunder, Blizzard, Fire Blast. Aerodactyl is lightning fast with Rock Slide. And Charizard throws Fire Blast at everything. You thought you were ready for a Dragon Master? Then you realize he brought 3 Dragonites with Hyper Beams loaded. Welcome to the boss fight! Alright trainers, we're officially entering the top 3. And at number 3, we've got a league that doesn't pull punches. The Pokémon League from Black 2 and White 2. Prepare yourselves, because this Elite Four is not messing around. Let's start with Chantal. Ghost-type Specialist, Chantal kicks things off with her spooky team of ghosties, but don't be fooled. She's more than just a creepy aesthetic. We can highlight some of its Pokémon, such as Cofagrigus shuts down physical attackers by removing abilities with Mummy and stalling with Toxic. And Chandelure, absolute nuke. Its insanely high special attack plus Stab Shadow Ball will wreck unprepared teams. And let's be real, that Chandelure is basically a glass cannon with a flamethrower built in. If you don't outspeed it, you're toast. Literally. The next one is Marshall, Fighting-type Master. Time to meet the dude who never skips leg day. Mienshao is fast and hits like a truck with high jump kick. Sock have sturdy, so no easy one-hit KOs. Conkeldurr is a nightmare with guts-boosted attacks plus Stone Edge for flying counters. You think you're gonna sweep with a psychic type? Oh no. Better hope Mienshao doesn't U-turn your plan into oblivion. The next one is Grimsley. Dark-type gambler, this guy's team screams, "I'm here to flip a coin and win anyway." Crocodile tanks special and physical moves with Intimidate plus great defenses. Scrafty packs Moxie. If he gets a KO, it's GG as he snowballs his attack. B-Sharp resists a ton of types and can punish you with Metal Claw plus Night Slash. Pro tip, never underestimate a sneaky Leopard with Fake Out and Attract. And it's game over, buddy! The last Elite Four member is Caitlyn, Psychic-type royalty. Don't let the fancy dress fool you. Caitlyn will psych you out and wipe the floor with your team. Musharna loves stalling with Reflect and bulky defenses. Reuniclus hits like a truck and is surprisingly tanky. Gothitelle loves stalling with Calm Mind plus bulky defenses. Honestly, Caitlyn's team is like trying to fight inside a dream. You think you're winning, but she's 2 steps ahead stacking Calm Minds. Finally, we would face Iris, champion of Unova, and no, it's not Alder anymore. It's Iris, the smiling dragon tamer who'll wipe that smile off your face. Iris specializes in dragon-type Pokémon and has several support Pokémon. Lapras and Aggron add coverage and bulk. Hydreigon opens with brutal power. Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, Surf. Insane coverage. Archeops wrecks everything with acrobatics and Stone Edge, until its ability kicks in. Haxorus packs Dragon Dance and Outrage. Literal death machine if it sets up. Hydreigon alone is like fighting a legendary. Add a Dragon Dancer Haxorus to that, you either need an Ice type, or you cry. Without a doubt, a very complicated and complex league that makes it one of the most difficult regions of all. Sinnoh. The region that doesn't just test your Pokémon battling skills, it tests your patience, your sanity, and your supply of full restores. If we're talking about difficulty in main story Pokémon Leagues, this one is an absolute beast. Especially in the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes, where the devs said, what if we made Cynthia even stronger? And then actually did it. Why, this league is brutal. Perfect EVs and IVs. In Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the devs gave the Elite Four and Cynthia fully EV-trained teams with competitive-level movesets and held items. No mercy, there's no hand-holding, no underleveled fluff, no silly weaknesses. This is full-on competitive mode, disguised as a main story challenge. Fun fact, Cynthia's Garchomp has caused more therapy bills, rage quits, and I'm gonna train 20 levels higher just to be sure moments than any other Pokémon in history. It's also the only Garchomp known to take down 4 Pokémon in one battle without even sweating. Seriously, who hurt the devs when they designed this? Let's break down the elite team that guards the path to the Hall of Fame. The first Elite Four member is Aaron, the bug strategist. Aaron opens the league with what you might assume is a warm-up battle. You'd be wrong. His Drapion is especially annoying due to its high speed, immunity to Psychic, despite being a bug-themed trainer, and coverage moves. Vespiquen can tank hits with Defend Order and Heracross. If you're not ready, it's sweeping. The second Elite Four member is Bertha, the ground tank. Bertha's team is like a walking sandstorm. Hippowden's bulk can wreck your whole team if you're not packing water or grass types. And don't forget Whiscash and Quagsire love to shrug off electric moves. Also, Earthquake. Lots of Earthquake. The third Elite Four member is Flint, the Flame Deceiver. Okay, half his team isn't even Fire type, but what they lack in type purity, they make up for in coverage. Infernape is scary, fast, and strong, besides being his best Pokémon, and can make things very difficult for you with Thunder Punch in close combat, and Drifblim loves to shrink. Yes, minimize. Thanks, Flint. The last one Elite Four member is Lucian, the Mind Master. Lucian's team is basically Glass Cannon meets Steel Wall. Alakazam can Psychic your whole team into next week, while Bronzong is a nightmare of defenses. And good luck getting a clean hit through Mr. Mime's Reflect plus Light Screen combo. Once all these battles have been overcome, we would have to face what seems to me today to be the most complicated battle of the whole saga, and I'm referring to the final boss, Cynthia, Sinnoh's champion and professional destroyer of dreams. Let's be honest, Cynthia is the reason why therapists in Sinnoh are booked solid.
What you listening to, son?
I don't think you like it.
Well, why not? I like this new generation of music.
Spiritomb starts with no weaknesses until fairy types came along, and even now it's tricky to deal with thanks to Dark Pulse and pressure stalling. Roserade comes out swinging with hard-hitting grass moves. Gastrodon is deceptively tanky and loves to mess with you if you rely too much on electric types. Lucario is a straight-up killer with moves like Aura Sphere and Flash Cannon. Melodic is bulkier than a Snorlax wearing armor and spams Recover like it's on sale. And finally, Garchomp. Her Garchomp is a level 66 beast with Swords Dance, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. If you don't outspeed it, or at least survive its hits, you're done. It's the stuff of nightmares, and it's why Cynthia has remained the gold standard of difficulty for years. And there you have it, trainers. The top 7 most difficult Pokémon Leagues ranked and broken down from Elite Four to Champion. From Kukoi's surprise twist in Alola to Cynthia's Garchomp-induced nightmares in Sinnoh, each of these leagues brought something unique, challenging, and sometimes a little terrifying to the table. Whether it was weather teams, unpredictable typings, or champions with fully competitive squads, one thing's for sure, beating these leagues felt like a true accomplishment. Did your personal pick for the hardest league make the list? Or do you think I missed one that totally deserves a spot? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your war stories from the Hall of Fame. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on more Pokemon content, theories, rankings, and all the fun stuff I've got planned. And hey, if you made it this far, just know you're a certified elite trainer now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, train hard, catch 'em all, and never underestimate a Garchomp. See you in the next one!